Anyone who says it doesn't does not understand.
The key to the Senate compromise was beefing up the border by doubling the number of Border Patrol agents and adding more fencing and detection gear. The bill now heads to the House, where it will face its biggest hurdle, getting past conservative Republicans.
Immigration reform has to be grounded in real border security. It's what the American people believe, and it's a principle that our majority believes in as well.
NBC Steve Handelsman is in Washington, D.C. for us. Hi, Steve. Okay, so I printed out the Senate roll call, and by my count, it looks to be 52 Democrats, including California's 2 senators, Boxer and Feinstein, along with 14 Republicans and 2 independents, passed all of this. This is the Senate. How tough is this going to be, though, in the House?
Well, it's going to be very tough in the House, but let's, if you don't mind me directing, let's go back to the Senate, because it's so unusual in this day and age. This is a big vote on final passage of an important and controversial measure. The exact kind of thing that for decades, for centuries really, there's been bipartisanship about, but not recently, except for today, or I should say until today. And these were big-name Republicans among the 14 who voted with all the Democrats, with names like Marco Rubio and John McCain, Flake of Arizona. So both your next-door neighbor Republican senators there in Arizona voted with Boxer and Feinstein. It was real bipartisanship on a really important issue. The president praised it from Africa. Mark said the Senate did its job, and now the House should, which brings us back to your question. Will it pass in the House? John Boehner, the Republican speaker, says, no way, not this version, not this time.
So the Republicans in the House seem to have a challenge, and in the Senate for that matter as well. Many of the more conservative members don't like the key aspects of the Senate version of the bill, as you've been reporting. But it comes at a time when Republicans are really trying hard to court Hispanic voters. How do they reconcile all of that?
Right. Well, you know, what Republicans who are behind this in the Senate, what Democrats in the House and the Senate say, Mark, is, look, they're going to talk a good game because they've got to keep their base happy. They're going to say, beef up the border, which those who voted for the Senate plan say gets done in the Senate. John McCain, in typical McCain fashion, said, look, this is going to fix the border. This is going to seal it. Anybody who says that's not true doesn't know what they're talking about. You know, boom, McCain. And that's kind of their approach. They hope, Republicans hope, that it's going to fix their problem with the base and also fix their problem with Hispanics. And the guessing is that the House will kind of go along. There's going to be wheeling and dealing. That's the process. But at least now, say backers of this plan, Mark, it's underway.
Okay. Far from a done deal, but an historic day nevertheless.
No.
Steve Handelsman in Washington. Thanks a lot.
Well, San Diego County officials say a marriage license